switching gears here a little bit, I think one of the big things, especially with season 2 here, and shout out to everybody who's followed us since the beginning of season 1. Season 1 was great, and we really kind of went into the world of wellness, and we really kind of explored, and we were able to ask questions that I've never really been able to ask before, and all this other stuff. And going into season 2, one of the big things I'm very adamant about, and I'm willing to die on this hill, is I think we have to be real, and we have to be honest and open, not only with our listeners, but with ourselves, So one of the things I want to talk about is, when did you realize that looking at fitness from a wellness perspective, or looking at fitness through a wellness lens, was important? Because I know I certainly didn't have that the whole time. I didn't start off that way.
Yeah. I have an Instagram post that I did.
Bailey, you want to go while he's looking that up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can share. Well, ironically enough, I don't think I would have ever even put it into those terms until, like, as a group and just as an organization, we even started discussing it, because I think for the longest time I was very much simply on the fitness trend, very narrow-minded, single-minded. I wanted to be able to, do X, Y, and Z. And basically nothing else really mattered. And what I noticed is, when we started having these discussions, I started checking in with myself, and, some of the questions I was asking, in my pursuit of, for me, it was running. Like, I'm really, really into running these days. I've been doing, like, training for half marathons. I've been trying to improve, and that's a great goal. But I just hit a wall, I'm gonna be honest. And there was nothing well about it. I was running to log the miles. I was running to check it off my list, and I wasn't enjoying any of it.
Yeah.
My body was hurting. I felt like crap. And I ended up, not with a serious injury, but like having to take a step back, just because I wasn't wellness focused. I was, like, results focused. And I think, again, a lot of us do that. I like to think I had nothing but good intent, but my goals weren't that realistic, and I wasn't checking in with myself, and it bit me in the butt. So,
yeah.
I'll be the first to say that this is actually a new concept for me, but it's already been life-changing. And I'm not exaggerating, like life-changing, because
everybody, we will play that part back. Everybody hear that part?
Life-changing. But the reason it's life-changing is because it's realizing there wasn't really anything wrong with my goal, but, like, my pursuit of it wasn't the most healthy way that I could do that. So I've been able to take a few steps back, rework a few things, and, like, it's nice. Like, my body actually feels great now, and my progress hasn't taken a step back. Like, it's stayed consistent. And so that's been so reassuring to me, is that, I'm not getting off my track. I'm actually just improving it.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
that's powerful.
Yeah, that's incredible too, because I feel like a lot of people will just continue to cut corners, to check those boxes, and then they sacrifice, relationships, their profession, financial wellness, emotional wellness, and then it's hard to, like, get that back. It's hard to get that back, because you just kind of, I don't know, once you start having those wellness leaks, the whole ship goes down. And
yeah,
it's not fun. It's not fun to get back, but that's journey in self.
Yeah. Sweet. What do you think, Austin? When was have you even had that?
Oh yeah, I've had that. Gosh, I think I've had it multiple times. Yeah, in multiple areas of wellness. I think the one big area of wellness, it was fitness, and it was when I was going to do my second show. When I deleted my post, but it was basically like I was burnt out. Like it wasn't fun anymore. I was just doing it to check boxes, to be under a certain weight, to lift a certain amount, to eat a certain like diet plan, and it's like there's no fun or color to life. And I think, Shawn, you always said, when you drink caffeine, you can see things. Life is in 4D. And I think, like, it lost that whole perspective. Everything was just black and white. It's like I didn't care who was there, who was around. It's like I'm going to do my thing and I don't care about anything else. And I think that impacted me and my friendships. And I think you guys, super grateful how tight we were to stay around and stick around as friends. I think that hurt my chances even as like education and job opportunities, because I shut myself off from everything else, whether that's networking or clubs or anything like that. And I was just basically sacrificing everything for one goal. And it's like, that's pretty, life just has so many things to offer. Why sacrifice everything for just one thing? It's like, there's so much more than that. So I think that was the big one for me. It was, when I was going to do my second show, but I didn't do it.
And so, and you feel genuinely more happy, more fulfilled, more.
Oh yeah. I remember falling asleep on your floor with my laptop on my head because I was so exhausted. Yeah. I'm not trying to eat pixie sticks all day or whatever I was doing, like terrible diet plans. I don't know. I think that was, I just taking it because I wasn't living in the moment. I think that was the big thing. I was living in the end goal. So I wasn't here. I was 6 months from now. It's like, I'll be happy then, I'll have fulfillment then. And it's like, you're never going to find happiness or fulfillment there, because there will always be there and it'll never be here, no matter where you're at.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I just went really deep.
No, hey, bring it on, because you know what? That's actually that's a good segue into my thought, I guess. And I'm gonna, again, season 2, I'm gonna be raw and real, and 100%. I'm not gonna make anything up here, and I'll be the first one to say, when we first started talking about all these concepts, and we were on that whiteboard in my back room, I was super hyped. I was like, cool, I love this concept, everything else. And then I went to write, and I went to, let's be honest, I don't write. I speech to text on my phone.
Fact.
I'm bad, dude. Like, I don't even really type. I don't really text no more. I just pick up my phone and talk.
It's Siri.
I promise you. But when I started putting down notes and I started working on stuff, and my brain went off in every millions and millions of directions on X, Y, and Z, and all the stuff that we have planned for this season. Stay tuned, by the way. I kept coming back to this episode, and I was really, really struggling. And then it dawned on me, like, I don't have this. Right? Like, I walked away from bodybuilding, right? After getting hurt, after gaining weight, after struggling with my inner demons, with all this stuff and everything else. And I buried Project Rebirth, and I was like, I'm done. I never want to do this stuff again. I'm just going to lift. I'm going to train. I'm going to enjoy it. It's not about all the other stuff that it used to be about, because and again, maybe I'm going to get a little too deep here, but whenever I was coming up, and Trey, who's on the call, or Little Matt can attest to this, like, it was some really, really dark stuff, and I fed my body negativity for 15 years. It was all the struggle, all the stuff that really, really bothered me. If I couldn't do this, or I couldn't do that, or I'm poor, so I can't do this, or I'm overweight, so I can't do this, or I'm not strong enough, so I can't do this. All of that piled up on the bar with me. And it's like, I would just squat until I could puke, and then I wouldn't think about that stuff anymore, because it was like, well, I overcame something today, like that couldn't hold me back. So neither can this other stuff, And so I became this big proponent of negative fulfillment, negative reinforcement, where it was like, oh yeah, you can do it. Well, I'm like, whatever, I don't care, right? It's like, oh, you can't do it. It's like, you, yes, I can. Like, I became this person to where if you told me no, I was going to shove it down your throat. But if you were so positive and trying to be nice to me and everything else, I just didn't care. And so when I walked away from bodybuilding, I told myself, all that's done. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to the gym for me. I'm going to lift every day and, have fun with the guy I work out with now. Is my buddy John. He's my tattoo guy. John and I have a great relationship. I'm just going for fun. But I got to thinking about it. And every time I walk in those doors, I go right back into that mindset. I didn't actually walk away from anything. It's the exact same. The training is the same. The mindset is the same. I'm still thinking the same thoughts. Like, yeah, I can write incredible workouts and I can tailor things to just about anybody because I understand every level of fitness. And I understand that not everyone can do what I can do. But if we're talking about the application to me, it's totally different. I always hold myself to this crazy, incredibly high standard. I always try and put more and more on myself. And no matter what I do, the gym, it's the gym. I have to beat my numbers in my logbook on my progressive lifts. Even my warm-up lifts and everything else, I'm trying to be progressive on those, and I'm trying to do more reps or more rate every single week. And I stopped logging my stuff. I stopped writing everything down. So mentally, I'm just keeping a checklist. Like I noticed I was getting onto the incline bench, and I was like, okay, cool. Did 315 for 6 last week. Gonna do it for 7 this week. I'm sitting there thinking, like, how do I even remember that? Like, I can't remember where I parked my car half the time. Like, but I can remember from 2 weeks ago when I was in the last rotation for this. Like, this is ridiculous. So I think, and I said all that again. This is my big loop-de-loop story here, but I said all that to say that I have had a real realization and a real awakening with planning out this episode. And when I sent you guys over my notes and we started talking about it, I wanted to talk about this with everyone else listening because, you don't have to be there, right? The first step is realizing you're not there and it's not sustainable. And what you're doing is not going to be fulfilling because every single time I check something off, I just want more, right? And there's 100% chance that you're going to get hurt whenever you're chasing after poundages that are near 100% of your max week after week after week, because that's not sustainable. That's not the right way. Like, I would never program that for anybody. So why am I doing it to myself? Right? Because it's more mental for me, and it's more about how do I feel and using this as an outlet for frustration than it is about doing it the healthy and the proper way, So I guess, and the reason I wanted to bring it up on this podcast right here is, for me to say to everyone that, like, I now realize that I don't have wellness when it comes to fitness. There's a heavy shift towards it, and it does draw on other areas of my life and other areas of happiness, and I do let it influence me a little too much in certain things. And so throughout this season, what I'm going to do in my pursuit for this season is going to be getting back in balance a little bit and, becoming a little more even in some of the other areas, and not letting fitness affect some of the other areas and letting some of the other areas lift up fitness. But it doesn't have to be by feeding it negative energy over and over and over again. I'm sorry if that got a little too deep for everybody.
Oh, that was good. I appreciate that, Shawn.
That's actually kind of incredible.
Yeah, that's powerful stuff.